Greetings, my dear friends. I am Albus Wealthmore, the finance wizard, ready to share my knowledge of turning tatters into treasures, starting with the essentials of personal finance. Armed with the fundamentals of personal finance, you will wield powerful money-building strategies, fortifying your wealth with increased efficiency compared to those who neglect the importance of educating themselves on financial matters. Let's begin, shall we? The first lesson on today's journey is about income and expenses. Income, my dear friends, is the money that enters our vault. It may come from the sales of enchanted wands in your shop, or from teaching the art of potion making. Expenses, however, are the outflow of money from our vault. Expenses can be food, a roof over your head, or the purchase of rare ingredients for your potions. Income fills our bank accounts, while expenses drain them. Thus, it is critical that we keep track of both, so we can ensure positive flow of money into our accounts. Which brings us to our next stop, budgeting. Some spells allow you to reveal hidden foes, and budgeting is like a spell that reveals the details of your finances. Ooh! Budgeting allows us to see our sources of income and expenses so we can make informed decisions about how we spend our money. To start, make a list of all your income sources, such as your salary, broomstick sales, and tutoring fellow travelers. Next, list out your expenses, including the essentials like rent and food, plus the non-essentials like mead from the pubs and ingredients for recreational elixirs. Now, subtract your expenses from your income, and if you have any money left over, you're in the ideal position. You can put that extra money towards your savings and investments, or splurge on a shiny new broomstick. Sounds easy, right? Not always, my friends. If your expenses are higher than your income, it is time to make some changes. If your net income turns negative, you have two levers to pull to escape the dungeon of money you find yourself in. Increase income or decrease expenses. A disciplined and savvy financier may be able to accomplish both. First, let's cover the ways to increase your income. You can increase your income by spending more time working, improving your skills to complete more valuable tasks, investing, or starting a business. The opportunities are endless. Next, let's focus on cutting expenses. By reducing or eliminating non-essential spending and finding more affordable alternatives, you can easily reduce your expenses. It's easier to control your spending than to increase your income in the short term, but it will require a healthy dose of discipline. By masterfully managing your income and expenses, you will steer yourself into a position of stockpiling wealth each month. Only once you have achieved consistent, positive cash flow can you proceed to the next level of today's magical money adventure. Saving and investing. Both are important for growing your wealth, but they serve different purposes. Saving is setting aside money for future use, such as an emergency fund, a down payment for a new castle, or a trip to visit faraway lands. Saving is a defensive financial strategy because stashing your money away isn't risky in the short term. Investing, on the other hand, is about using your money to potentially grow your wealth over time, at the cost of potentially losing your money from bad investments. Investing is an offensive financial strategy because you can grow your money unlike saving, but you also risk losing money from the demise of the investments you purchase. When you invest, you are purchasing assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, cryptocurrencies, or rare items with the hope that they will increase in value over time, providing you with a return on your investment. For instance, you could invest in shares of a local wand-making company. If the company becomes a gold-generating machine and doubles in value, your investment will double, turning each unit of money invested into 2. It's like modern alchemy. But do not dream too soon, for if the wand company fails, your investment will go to 0. So, my dear friends, saving your money is about security and stability. Investing is about taking more risk for the potential of seeing your money multiply, as it could from investments in successful companies and valuable items. Both saving and investing are important and should be a part of your quest to build riches. Just like a wizard needs to delicately balance offensive and defensive spells to defeat foes, we need to balance offensive and defensive money strategies to see our vaults fill with treasure over time. That's why we need to incorporate saving and investing in our long-term quest of building and preserving wealth. Let's move forward in our journey by learning about borrowing money. Credit is the ability to borrow money, like taking a loan from a bank. When you borrow money, you need to pay it back over time with interest, or a little extra than you borrowed initially. Debt is the money you owe, such as paying back the money you've borrowed from the bank. For instance, a wizard who borrows 1,000 gold pieces at 3% interest will need to pay back the bank 1,030 gold pieces over time. Borrowing money and paying it back on time increases your creditworthiness, showing others that you can be trusted with loans or borrowed money. The benefit of building your creditworthiness is the ability to borrow money quickly in the future with lower interest than those with less creditworthiness. Becoming creditworthy is helpful for big purchases such as buying your first home or acquiring funds to grow your business. But use credit wisely, my fellow adventurers, for borrowing money requires you to pay it back over time, typically each month. These debt payments increase your expenses, making it more difficult to maintain positive cash flow if your income remains flat. If you do not proceed cautiously when borrowing money, you could find yourself cursed by inescapable debt payments and evil bill collectors, casting a dark shadow over your financial future. Speaking of dark shadows, let's learn how to prevent them with the next lesson on today's personal finance journey. Insurance is like a powerful shield, protecting you and your assets from a swift defeat, warding off dark forces from consuming all of your wealth during unfortunate and unforeseen events. Insurance acts as a financial force field, protecting you from unforeseeable events such as automobile accidents, health emergencies, and death. Health insurance provides coverage for medical expenses, protecting you from the high cost of healthcare. It's especially important if you don't want to drain your vault every time you fall ill or get hurt during your adventures. Life insurance is like a spell that generates wealth for your loved ones when your adventure comes to an end and you pass away. It's a way to ensure that your family is taken care of, even if you're not there to provide for them. For instance, take a young wizard named Winston with a wife and 2 children. Winston pays an insurance company a small monthly payment for a life insurance policy with a death benefit of 500,000 gold pieces. If Winston meets a tragic and untimely departure from this world, his family would receive 500,000 gold pieces, easing the financial burden from the loss of Winston's support. Homeowners insurance is like a financial fortification spell for your home, providing coverage for damages or losses to your property from things like fire, combat spells, theft, or natural disasters. It's a way to ensure that if the unexpected happens, you won't have to empty your bank account to fix your home. To obtain the protective force field of insurance, you must pay an insurance provider a monthly payment called a premium, which is a fancy way of saying you pay them regularly in exchange for insurance coverage. Obtain insurance and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing you and your assets are protected from a devastating blow. Choose to ignore insurance and see your treasures turn to dust in the face of unexpected twists of fate. The next stop on today's journey is taxes. Taxes are like the cleanup after a rowdy wizard's night out at the tavern. No one enjoys it, but it must be done. And sometimes you may find unexpected treasures, like a few gold pieces hidden in the muck. Taxes are fees imposed by the government to fund and maintain the kingdom or country, wherever you reside. Every person, regardless of professional income, must contribute their fair share of tax payments. Your annual tax bill is calculated based on your earnings, such as your salary or profits from selling profitable investments. In general, the more you earn, the more you'll owe in taxes. But fear not, as there are deductions and credits available to minimize your tax obligation, such as expenses required to run your business, deposits made to your retirement fund, and even charitable donations to your local school of witchcraft and wizardry. Sometimes, you may have overpaid your taxes in a given year, granting you a refund from the government. Just like discovering hidden treasures in the couch cushions. Avoid taxes and see your government cast you in the deep, dark dungeon. Instead, it is wise to seek the guidance of a local tax professional to ensure you minimize your annual tax payments. By masterfully wielding the tools of budgeting, hoarding treasure through savings and wise investments, intelligently harnessing the power of credit and debt, protecting unforeseen misfortunes with insurance, and shrewdly navigating the complicated realm of taxes, you will amass wealth at a faster pace than your fellow wizards and witches who choose to neglect these important principles. And with such a strong foundation, you will be able to take the steps towards an early and well-deserved retirement. A time where you can bask in leisure, explore new horizons, and relish in the company of those you hold dear. Retirement, my dear friends, is a time to cast aside the worries of labor and bask in the gift of life. And let me tell you, there is much to be experienced and enjoyed. The thrill of new adventures, the wonder of exploring distant lands, and the simple joy of spending time with those I love are things that bring the brightest joy to my life. By embracing the lessons we've explored today, you too can create a life filled with such delights and fulfillment. My dear friends, I am Albus Wealthmore, the personal finance wizard. Join me in more videos and continue your journey to turn a few gold pieces into unspeakable riches.